Throughout history, mankind has reported on all sorts of strange occurrences: witches, werewolves, vampires, UFOs, ghosts, angels, and demons. Are these all just urban legends, stories, or myths? Or is there some form of truth that lurks in the shadows? Together, we endeavour to explore and investigate these strange occurrences which have taken place throughout mankind's history. Together, we are ETFW. Welcome to the library. Hospitals have always been a place of healing, a place the sick and injured can go to receive treatment and to be nursed back to health. However, this hasn't always been the case, not for the Central State Hospital, which is located in Indianapolis. The story of the Central State Hospital begins in 1827, when the Indiana legislature authorized an establishment of a hospital for the insane. Although this was authorized in 1827, construction for the new facility was delayed several years and wasn't opened until November in 1848. At the time, the hospital consisted of one brick building situated on the large parcel of land which was over 100 acres on Washington Street, west of downtown Indianapolis. In 1889, the hospital was renamed the Central Indiana Hospital for the Insane. After 1926, it was known as the Central State Hospital, and by 1928, physicians cared for nearly 3,000 patients. From 1848 to 1948, the hospital grew yearly until it encompassed two massive ornate buildings, one for male patients and one for females, a pathology department, a sick hospital for the treatment of physical ailments, a farm colony where patients engaged in occupational therapy, a chapel, an amusement hall complete with an auditorium, billiards and bowling alleys, a bakery, firehouse, and an idyllic garden and fountains. The more ornate of the two buildings came to be known as the Seven Steeples. This building, which housed female patients, was designed using the Kirkbride plan for mental health care facilities. For half a century, the buildings and gardens housed mentally ill patients from all regions of Indiana. By 1905, however, the state had built mental health institutions in Evansville, Logansport, Madison, and Richmond, thereby relieving the overcrowded Central State Hospital of some of its patients and leaving it to treat only those from the Central District, an area of 38 counties situated in the middle portion of the state. In 1950, patient population reached 2,500. By the early 1970s, most of the hospital's beautiful Victorian-era buildings had been declared unsound and destroyed. In their place, the state constructed brick buildings of a nondescript institutional genre. These modern buildings and the medical staff continued to serve the state's mentally ill until allegations of patients' abuse and funding trouble sparked an effort to forge new alternatives to institutionalization, which, in turn, led to the hospital's closure in 1994. Many rumors, reports, and myths strung up throughout the many years of the hospital's lifetime. Many of these rumors are horrifying enough to give you nightmares. There are reports of patients being forced to wear straitjackets to restrain them, and often left in them for long periods of time. Patients would feel enclosed and begin to wither in pain and desperation, often tearing their own muscles and dislocating joints. Other reports are that of stainless steel picks, which were used to perform frontal lobotomies that would often kill or leave patients who received them permanently damaged. One of the most horrifying treatments, however, was the electroshock machines. These machines would shock the patient's head, which would often result in patients having amnesia and even be the cause of increased suicidal tendencies. The doctors of the Central State Hospital would call this the Georgia Power Cocktail. Over the many years in which this facility was in operation, many patients died during their time there. This can be found in the 25,000 graves which are on the grounds. Because so many patients lived at the hospital for so many years, they were often forgotten or ignored by their own families. As a result, the hospital ran a mortuary which employed carpenters whose sole job was building caskets. For over a century, the hospital buried its dead beneath small metal stakes, each marked with a number that corresponded with a patient's file. No names, no dates of birth or death, and no symbols of their outside life from the hospital. It reportedly became so severe that the groundskeepers eventually pulled the stakes from the ground of at least 10,000 graves and tossed them into the woods just so they could better mow the grass. On one such account was when a group of researchers visited the hospital while in one of the buildings. One of the members from the group was attempting to open a window. Now, due to its old and unique design, they were having troubles with it. However, when they were about to give up on it, a voice told her to pull down from the top. However, no one in the group said anything. She attempted to pull down from the top, and the window suddenly opened with ease. Strange laughing and screams have also been heard on the grounds, and visitors have reported hearing the sounds of a screaming woman coming out from the corner of the old powerhouse basement. Strange sights of shadows moving from the cement post, and the boiler turning on and off on its own. In the pathology building, where the dead bodies were examined to learn about their mental illnesses, there have been noises heard in the basement when no one was there. The dormitories have also been a hotspot for paranormal sightings, with multiple reports from maintenance workers seeing and hearing things which could not be logically explained. What do you believe of the Central State Hospital? Would you be brave enough to visit? If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to hit the like button, subscribe if you are new here, and comment your thoughts down below. Until next time, we are ETFW.